Hey Truth Seekers, it's Carolyn here, and I'm going to be going over my JP Love and Holy Spirit deck. So beginning off, we have 4 Love, 2 Holy Spirit, and a Fasting for our power cards, simply because we do actually have a lot of power cards that get our power cards, and so, but they mainly go for the standard power cards. So I'm only running the 1 fasting since I don't really have any universal except for some of the smaller growth stages. So this is what I run for my power for JP here. We chose to run JP simply because we're trying to create a deck with every single Truth Seeker and kind of every single way that you can mix and match the different colors and things. So to begin, I run a single Tweetheart. Tweetheart is a 1 for 3, but can be a 1 for 6 as long as it's played in the same turn as something else. So it's a great little one-off card there. It has helped me get some good points and everything. I have 2 Quillo level 1, and I have 2 of the Love Quillo level 2. So this one is a 1 for 4, and it has an action that searches for either 1 special power card or 2 standard power cards and puts them into my power pool. In a similar vein, I have 2 Flamingo and 2 Flamingo level 2. This is a 2 for 8 and says when this card is played from your hand to grow Flamingo level 1, you may search your deck for 1 love power and add it to your power pool. So, really nice card there. I have 2 Saltini level 1 and 2 Saltini level 2, which is a 2 for 8, or its fellowship bonus is a 2 for 11. And it says when played to grow Saltini level 1, return your active Cine to the hand of the player that revealed it to you. Great card there. And then for Love, we have our Flow Ultra as the best utility card currently in the game. Moving on to Holy Spirit, we have 2 Manti level 1 and 2 Manny level 2. So Manti level 2 is a 2 for 8, 1 specified and 1 not, and it says search your deck for any power card and place it directly into your power pool. So this one can search for our fasting if we need it to. Next, we have 3 of our Fuzzworm level 1. We have 3 of our Fuzzworm level 2, which its awesome ability says you may choose to discard one equipment, or you may choose to discard an equipment card that's attached to this card, and if you do, you get to draw 4 cards. And this is typically the one that we want to run into. And then we have a single Fuzzworm level 3, just in case we need it for points. It's a 2 for 12 and says search your deck for an equipment card and attach it to an Animo in your small group. So this one is really helpful to go get those other equipment cards that can get you extra points. Things like Tools of the Trade or Holy Spirit, the Sword of the Spirit. Next we have Peregrine, the level 1 Bird of Prey. He is a 3 for 8, and his ability says if this card's in your small group, it provides 1 Faith, Hope, or Love power during your scoring phase. This card may not be activated in the same turn it is used. And then for Holy Spirit, we have Peregrine Ultra. He is a 4 for 13, but if you have that fasting out there, he works really well. Moving on to our story cards here, we have 2 Bible Study Spirits. Search your deck for 1 Holy Spirit Animo. This is really good to get you your growth stages that you need. And in a similar vein, we have Letter to Galatia, but this one searches for a card that has a Holy Spirit Fellowship bonus. So this one can go get either our Tweetheart or our Saltini level 2. Next, because we do lack draw power, we have 2 The Rich Fool that allows you to draw the bottom 3 cards of your deck. Next, we have a single Fishing Nets. You get to draw 2 cards, or if it was the last card in your hand, you get to draw 4 instead. We have 2 Runaway. This allows us to grab an Animo from our discard pile and return it to our hand, which can also be used to grab Flow. And finally, we have Shake and Break. Return 2 level 1 Animo, excluding Ultras, from your discard pile to your hand. And then we have 2 equipment cards here, Paul's Chains. So this allows us to go search for a level 1 Animo and put it directly into our small group. avoiding things like Zapper King. This one can actually get you ultras. We keep 2 tools of the trade, so you get 2 extra virtue points, or 4 if you're facing off a Cine to the love Animo to whom this one's attached to. We have a single belt of truth, so when this card's attached to a love Animo, you get to draw 2 cards, and then you get to look at the top 4 and return them in any order. Now, just as a reminder, these can be attached to Fuzzworm, and you still get Fuzzworm's ability to draw, but you don't really get to activate these because Fuzzworm is not a love Animo. We have 2 Sword of the Spirit to attach to a Holy Spirit Animo. This card gets plus 3 virtue points. And then finally, we have Myrrh. When attached to an Animo, this card reduces its cost by 1 Holy Spirit power. And moving on to our Cines, we have Grasshopper. When played, your opponent reveals their hand, select 1 card and have them shuffle it back into their deck. We have Blinders. When the Cine is revealed blindly and at random, select 1 card from your opponent's hand and have them discard it. We have Merkay. As long as the Cine is active, your opponent may draw no more than 2 cards during their draw phase, regardless of hand size. Zapper King. Your opponent may not play any level 1 Animo from their hand into their small group on their next turn. Judge Bead. As long as the Cine is active, your opponent may not reveal Cines. And Wolf. If this card is in your hand, you may choose to show it to your opponent, shuffle it back into your deck, and if you do, you get to draw another card. And then finally, we have our Corruptera Mega. So these are our Cines for this deck, and this is our JP, Love, and Holy Spirit deck. All right, Truth Seekers, keep learning virtues and defeating Cines.